Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And today I would like to offer the elemental energy reading for the element of air for July of 2024. The element of air covers the zodiac signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. If you're interested as to why I read for the elements instead of the zodiac, there's a video linked below explaining why I'm more comfortable with the elements than the zodiac. It's just not quite my thing yet. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video if you enjoy this type of content, and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, opinions, if something resonates or doesn't, or if there's something I can do to improve the style of reading. I read intuitively, so the messages that come through may or may not be the exact same ones as on the cards, and the messages are timeless, so if you see this after July, know that there's probably something you're going to get out of it. Typical disclaimer, these kind of readings are for entertainment. If you get something out of it, what you choose to do with that is your decision, but I offer those for educational and entertainment benefits. We start off with the I Ching hexagram, and I've already cast the hexagram before we got started so that it wouldn't take as long, because these are a little time consuming to do. So your air hexagram is number 58, and I'm really impressed with this marker that is still showing up, but it is the symbol right here. It is representative of joy. And the text says, joy, success, patience in a righteous course brings reward. Kind of self-explanatory on that. Like, there's not much to add. You've been doing some hard work. You've been honest, forthcoming, upright. I mean, you're air. You're very logical, very analytical. And you've been going the right way. Might have taken a little bit longer. That's where that patience and persistence is a good thing. So it may have taken a little bit longer than what you expected, but things are going your way. So July looks like could be pretty good for our air family. Now, we'll start with our foundational line here, down here on the bottom, and it's harmonious joy and good fortune. As long as everything is flowing calmly, it looks like July is going to be a good month. Your foundation for July is a good month because everything's, for the most part, flowing really well. There might be some hiccups along the way, but everything's going to be going the way for your highest benefit, whether that's good or neutral. But you put in the work, you've set things up, so it should be a pretty chill month. The second line, confident joy, good fortune, and absence of regret. Even if something does come up, it's not like you're going to regret it. It's not like it's something, oh, if only I would have done blank different. No, if something comes up, it was probably in the cards. We'll deal with that and move forward. So our third line, coming joy, misfortune. So this could indicate something that, you know, with that the last one, no regrets. This could be that something that might not be just the way it should be. It might be the hiccup in how everything should flow this month, because everything's set up to be positive joy, very outgoing energy, very positive energy. So if something does come up, it's not meant that it's something that you did or missed. It's an outside energy that's coming in. So stay grounded, stay focused, and allow that to just glance off to the side and not be your problem. Our fourth place line here, calculating future joys. He is restless and suffers from various small ills, yet he is happy. So even when those things are maybe not the best, or something is going a little bit weird this month, because everything's set up to be very positive, they're saying if something does come in, something that comes from the outside, because you're air, you're calculating, you're logical, you use your mind probably more than any other of your senses, and you're focusing on the positive down the road. You're setting things up, you're putting in plans in place, and it can be you might be a little restless because you're expecting it to come faster. That could trigger some of these small ills, but they're not huge issues. They're more of just like stubbing your toe on a hike. It's a frustration in the moment, but it's not long lasting. So let's look at our 5th place line. Faith in what is disintegrating leads to trouble. If there's something that is not working this month, don't cling to it. Let it fade away. If it comes back, then deal with it. But it's not, they're saying don't focus on trying to fix the problem. The problem shows up. Okay, here's a problem. Can I deal with this in this moment? If not, it's fine. We'll let it float away, because these are not things, at least this is what they're bringing in. These are not things that are because of your plans, your goals, and your dreams or your steps. These are things that are kind of like coming in to distract you. So it's really keep your focus, because the harmony and joy and positive growth is really what the focus is for July. So our capstone here, joy in the form of allurement. So you don't want to be lured in by the pretty things. Your joy is working on those plans. Your joy and your harmonious life comes from being so set that it's not like locked in your ways, but you're set on the goal of growth, prosperity, abundance, anchoring that in the concept of joy, of peace, of happiness. Those are genuine. The allure is that flashy, ooh, I'm excited, and then it fades, because that's not what real joy and happiness is. And that could be the thing that stirs up as you get that little flashy period and you're like, yay! And the universe is like, whoa, no, hold up. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about I believe it's in Psalms, if you have read the Bible, it's that peace that passes understanding. In other words, it's so far beyond some little hiccup in the road that can derail it. And that's the joy that they're talking about. So overall, this month, just from the I Ching, we haven't even got to the tarot yet, just from the I Ching is saying, this is going to be a good month. Don't get distracted by the flashies or the cloudy day. Trust me, July in Idaho, cloudy days are a blessing. So that's kind of the energy that they're bringing forward. So I don't know why I have to do that every time. We are going into the tarot, and I read week to week. There are approximately 5 weeks in July, 4.5 calendar weeks, so we'll give it 5. I read each week a guide and or guardian, and that is an energy to guide you through the week, or a guardian to help you deal with any troubles that might show up. A message from Source, which is a positive or supporting message that Source brings through. And then we also look at a lesson or a challenge from the tarot. Excuse me. And that is a lesson to work on that week, something to be aware of, or a challenge of something that might be coming in that was unexpected. I read the weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but if they fall out of line for you, that's cool as well. It's kind of depends on where you're at in life as to how things lay out. So we'll get started here. Your first guide or guardian is the angel Isda, and the stone is carnelian, and it is the nourishment card. And growth requires nourishment. As I grow, I gain well-being and strength, becoming a more radiant light on this planet. For the spiritual benefit of all beings, I recognize that in giving to myself, I am giving to the universe. I embrace my power of choice to nourish myself with what truly feels and empowers my body, mind, and soul. I explore my own ways to be healthy. I trust in my ability to nurture myself and others. So the angel Isda is a new one for me, but carnelian is a very powerful warming stone. So this first week of July is really about tapping into that warmth, that camaraderie, because when you are taking care of your spiritual, physical, and mental needs, you are healing, and as you heal, you radiate that energy out, and as that energy spreads to others, they are benefited and blessed by it as well. So this first week, guide or guardian, is really just helping you understand that you have a lot more authority in your life than you realize. And you may already know that, but this is a tap on the shoulder reminder. You're the one that's doing this. You're the one that's setting things up. Just like with the I Ching, you're the one that sets the plans and the tones, so it's dealer's choice. Your lesson or your message from Source is the ripple effect. Part of something bigger, details are taken care of. It's interesting that this is the card that I drew. This is talking about the radiation out. You're working with that healing energy. You're tapping into your joy, your happiness. And it's not just the fleeting happiness of, oh, that was a fun movie, but it's that peaceful happiness of positive connection to your spouse, the positive connection to God, Source Divine. It's that love of knowing that when you come home, your puppy or your kitten is waiting for you. That is that deep, abiding joy. That's that stuff that just can't really be shooken up. That's the part that's rippling out. You are part of something so much bigger than you can possibly imagine. We all are, but this is for air. So, and what they're saying with this is, when you tap into that, when you connect to that higher, happier, peaceful state, the universe responds to you with reinforcing energy. With, there might be a challenge or two just to test your mettle, but for the most part, the energy is saying, here we are. What you do to you today ripples out and can change another person's life. And by doing so, you can, in a way, change the world. So, and it's those like drop a pebble in the pond and watching the ripples. One little choice, one little chance encounter can change a lot of things when you're, even if you're specifically when you're not aware. That's why it's best to choose a kind word over more harsh one sometimes. So your lesson or challenge from the tarot is the Eight of Earth. So this is opposite energy to air. Skilled work is rewarded, learning all there is to know about a topic and going back to school. This is a reminder, the hard work that you have been putting in, it may not feel like the rewards are showing up, but it's that persistence in the righteous path. And when I say righteous, we're talking about honorable, moral, ethical. When you're doing the right thing and you're putting your effort and energy that direction, things tend to go well. So as far as the lesson or challenge, to me this is coming through as a lesson, because it's, just remember, no matter how hard sometimes the work may be, as long as you're staying ethical and upright with it, it's going to reward you in ways you could not possibly imagine. And those rewards are going to look different for everybody. For some, it might be a promotion at work. For others, it might be a connection to a new friend or a spiritual mentor that you didn't even realize that you had, or spiritual sister or brother. But it's the hard work, the persistence, and the honest work, the moral work, that's what's really going to be the supported thing through this next month. It is in general, but they're focusing on that this month. So your second week's guide or guardian is the Archon Barbello, and it's Picture Jasper. Picture Jasper is so pretty. And we have the supporting card, the card of support. I choose to accept the reality that there is support for all levels of my being. I lean into this loving embrace of the universe so that I can experience complete and ultimate spiritual fulfillment in such a way that all beings may gain spiritual benefit. As I trust in this divine support, my courage and boldness increase. I choose to live with unconditional trust and confidence in divine grace. So your guide for the second week, the first week was understanding yourself, taking care of yourself, understanding how your actions ripple out. The second week, now you're starting to see how your actions work, and they're saying the support that you receive from God, Source Divine, from all of your guides, guardians, and angels, this is what's going to help you manifest in a much more positive aspect, and help you to understand if something that you're working towards may not be the best manifestation. But what they're saying for the most part is this: you're supported, and you're supported in the arms of the universe. The universe, God, Source Divine, has so many blessings to offer you. It's just a matter of grounding, centering, and saying, this is what I want, focusing on that. If the distractions come in, You see them, they're not worth it, and you continue forward. It's that piece that they're trying to shake it because they see what you're doing and they don't like it. They, as in the outsiders, are like, oh, that will never work. I cannot believe they're even trying that. They're just jealous that you're actually achieving it because you are staying focused on it. You're working with righteous persistence. You're staying focused on your goals. You're doing it the moral, ethical, logical, analytical way, because air is very much about these things. And so you're doing the right things, and it's causing some frustration amongst others. That's because as your energy is rippling out and improving, they're going to fade away because they can't deal with the positivity and the change that you're growing with. Some might be drawn to you because of that, and they want to understand it better so they can start working that way. So there's a lot of stuff going on for air this month, and we're only in the second week. We have, for your message from Source, the Pink Dolphin: celebration, fun, unbridled joy, opening your heart. When you have the support of God Source Divine, when you have the companionship of the angels and your spirit guides, it really helps to tap into that joy. When you know that you are a loved person, in a relationship, single, doesn't matter. When you know that you are loved, when you are cared for, when that divine compassion is placed upon you, it is so freeing. You can enjoy life more. And that's the message of the second week from Source, is it doesn't really matter what else is going on. Find a reason to enjoy yourself. Go out, have fun, meet with friends, or if you'd rather be alone, go for a hike in the woods, find some water, sit near that, and enjoy the sounds, the smells, the associations of just being free and being happy. And you can do that. It's a little bit tricky when you're sitting in an office somewhere, but when you get out in nature, there's something about nature that changes how you feel about life. And it's so powerful to sit quietly. No earbuds. If you want a book, fine, but no electronics on. And just chill, listen, watch, experience. And this is what the Pink Dolphin energy is bringing forward, is enjoy the simple things, because in a lot of ways, they can trigger the biggest source of happiness and joy for you. Doesn't mean you can't find it in other places, but there's something they're calling to nature at this point. So, your lesson or challenge from the tarot is, 0. We have the Dreamer, which in the traditional tarot would be the Fool, and with Archangel Metatron, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. Metatron is the angel of ascension and growth. He is the angel that comes in when you first put your foot on the path of a spiritual change in life. And with this card, what they're saying is, or the lesson, so to speak, is there's a lot of new things. You might be experiencing some new aha moments, some new awakening periods. And the second week, when you're tapping into that joy, when you're knowing that you are supported, it allows you the grace, the peace, and the comfort to have those new ideas come through, have those new experiences, meditation, or just the sensual experience of smell, taste, sight, hearing. When you really get into that quieted state and your awareness picks up, it's new, and it can make you kind of feel invincible. That's where the Dreamer, the Fool energy comes in, where you're like, I can do anything. Yeah, you don't have all the tools yet, so careful. And that's kind of a heads up on the second week, is everything's going great, but don't overdo your plans and goals. Go with the flow. There's a flow that's working here, and that's what needs to be remembered this week. So, moving on to our third week's guide or guardian. This is a cool card. Goddess Persephone, or Persephone, depending on who's saying it. And the ruby is the stone, so a little bit of passion and love going on here. It is the inner queen energy. Sorry, my light's just a little bit too bright for me. Divine wisdom empowers me to bring hidden truths to consciousness. Healing shadows with the light of love, I move freely through all realms of experience, honoring every aspect of life with compassion. I hold the gentle light of penetrating awareness so that all all may awaken to divine love and receiving blessings. I am energized and motivated by the highest source of all wisdom. I summon my inner divinity, grace and wisdom, consciously choosing to live my deeper truth. As the light rises, so do I. There's a lot there. Through this month, and it's an interesting play that you've got going on here, Air Family, is the first week was understanding yourself and getting more grounded. The second week, understanding that you're supported because there's a ripple effect starting to occur. This week is saying it is in full-blown rippling out mode. And you have these energies of Persephone, or Persephone, however, lived in the dark and the light. She didn't reside or stay in one state. She understood that there's terror and fear in the light, but there's also beauty. There's sacredness in the dark. It wasn't a matter of choosing one or the other. It was finding a balance between the two. When you can find the balance, that's where the peace comes from, knowing that the scales are always tipping. But if you can stay here, those scales can do whatever they want. You're not moving. And that's the energy that's coming forward, and that's that peace, that's that joy that's talked about with the I Ching, and that's the messages that are coming through so far, is knowing that when you tap into that inner energy, that inner divine feminine, specifically with this card, it helps you see things from a much more clear standpoint. And it doesn't matter what, if you're male or female, we all have divine masculine and divine feminine energy. It's just when you start to understand how the dynamic plays out in you, you can be the most masculine man in the world and like to do things like crochet or paint. You can be the most feminine woman on the planet and drive Jeeps and go mudding and all the rest of that. Knowing your balance is the big part of this. And this is where they're talking about. And with Persephone and Ruby, there's a passion. This is tapping into a core of who you are. And you're understanding that divine wisdom. We're not talking analytical, physical wisdom. Divine wisdom reveals truth. Air loves truth. So this third week is really about tapping into that balance, understanding that you're supported, you're loved, and now you're starting to realize that you are actually more connected to God's source divine than you may have realized. We're all stardust. We all carry a spark of divinity. The breath of God flows through every one of our lungs. And this week, you're starting to understand what that could mean. And that's that ripple effect out as you go through your week. So I don't repeat myself, I'm going to jump to the next card. Your message from Source is the Atlantis card. Keep the big vision. Stay in alignment as you grow. Keeping that balance, you're reaching to heaven, grounding into earth. Atlantis knew the secret to growth. When they lost that, they self-destroyed them. They destroyed themselves. But when you find the balance, when you work with that secret divine spark, you have a different one. It's the same as mine, but it's not. Because I have one that responds one way, you have one that responds another, and it's that uniqueness that allows us to expand as a people. But it also helps us as we grow and elevate. We can bring those with us because our growth is inherently tied to everyone else's. And that's what Atlantis forgot, is that we are all connected. We are all bound together in a way. We're unique, but we all carry certain characteristics of the divine realizing itself through our lives. And that's the message for Atlantis, is you are way more connected and way more spiritually empowered than you could possibly realize. And even if you've already come to terms with it, there's so much more to know. There's so many more things to discover, and that's that joy, that's happiness, that's knowing that there's so much more. That no matter how much you learn, there's always something new around the corner. It keeps that excitement moving forward for the mystery, not the planned. Our lesson or challenge from the tarot is the King of Earth: generous, professional, responsible, and practical. A successful time, confidently accepting opportunities you're offered, and the Midas touch. This is a lesson for you. They're saying that this is as you go through this week, you're going to be thanked. You're going to be offered some form of compensation or a gift. They're saying accept with generosity. Be grateful for what's coming in. You've earned this. You deserve this. This is not something that, oh, no, I can't accept that. You can. The Midas touch is saying you have achieved a point in your life for now. There's always plateaus and valleys, but where you're at right now, it's time for the abundance to flow in. Be gracious in accepting it. It's not an arrogance thing. Keep your ego off playing with blocks somewhere else, because that's not where we're at. This is really saying, as stuff is coming to you, you share out as well, but be gracious in how it's coming in. Be thankful and be happy with things as they move around you. The King of Earth is the end of the earth. I just lost the word completely. Suit in this particular deck, and what it's saying is you've achieved a point where you now can see the flow coming in. You also understand that as you give, you also receive. As you receive, you also give. And it becomes a cyclical energy for you where you're constantly in a state of growth because things are in a constant state of dynamic motion around you. So this third week is just a reminder, as you're growing, as you're changing, as you're expanding, be gracious as things come in and as things go out. Grateful and gratitude, being gracious, it's all kind of the same energy, and that's the focus for the third week's lesson. So our fourth week, you've got Jasper twice this week, or this month, that's pretty cool, is the goddess Gaia, powerful earth energy here, and Ocean Jasper. It's the card of goodwill. And we have, I activate the spiritual power that benefits and protects all beings through mutual enhancement. The power of goodwill, generosity, and grace. I plug into the golden energy grids of grace that rise from the earth and provide all that is needed for every being to manifest its destiny. I put my faith in the potency of encouragement. I hold an empowered vision for myself and all beings. Air, this is your fourth week's message. They are really wanting to focus on this image, and it's an interesting image because they're showing me ripples, but now they're showing me spider webs too. We're all connected, and you are changing things in subtle ways, little ways. Nothing major, could be major, but they're saying it's the little things that are really causing the biggest changes for others. And as you're changing, you're tugging the threads of fate. You are adjusting the wave pattern, the wavelengths of the people around you. So everyone is shifting with you. The people who are causing the hiccups, those that are, not the most supportive, they're fading out because they cannot be in the energy, and they're, hurling an insult or three before they leave, but they can't be in the changes that are coming for you and around you. And it's just because you've stayed focused, you've been, righteous persistence, being moral and ethical. You're not allowing, the more negative energy of the world to drag you down, because you know that this is the best way for you forward. And the universe is saying, good job, keep up the good work. This is what we had hoped. So your message from Source is the Metamorphosis card. Embracing transformation, things are now different. You've changed a lot, you're still changing, you're still growing, and as you grow, you change. You're coming out of a cocoon of experience, you're coming out transformed into something more beautiful, a caterpillar into a butterfly. And this week is when your awareness of the fact that you are not the person you were in June. You are not the person you were in 2023. You have grown a lot, even if you don't realize it. They're saying this fourth week of July specifically, is a time for you to you'll start to come to awareness. It may be through dreams, it may be through someone making a comment like, wow, you are a different person. I would love to know what you've been doing different. Is it a new diet? Are you exercising? What's going on? Because you have improved your life in a way to you don't even notice it because it's been teeny tiny little steps, but other people are like, whoa, that's cool. So this fourth week is just kind of a reminder that you've been doing everything. This bleed up to this is saying this is how it's affecting others. This week is saying now you need to understand how much you've changed, because you've changed a lot in the last little bit, over the last couple of years anyway, but right now they're focusing more recent. So your message from, or lesson or challenge from the tarot is number 2, the High Priestess with Archangel Haniel. Listen to your intuition, have patience, consider carefully what you want before acting. The High Priestess is the goddess's voice on the planet, and in this particular aspect, she's calling you to stillness. She's calling you to quietness. Air likes to analyze. Air's a bit more focused on what you can sense, feel, touch. They want to quantify things. This particular message is some things cannot be measured by science, at least not yet. And when we talk about the High Priestess, and what I'm hearing in this particular aspect is when you tap into your subconscious, it is a call to quietness. Your intuition is something that may be a little bit more foreign to some of you out there. Some of you, they're saying you're very tapped into your intuition. You call it a gut instinct, or I just had a feeling. That's intuition. And this is the confirmation that that's what that is. So tapping into that this fourth week is being encouraged, and being the number 2 in the major arcana. These are life lessons. So these are things that are going to continue on beyond this 1 week's reading. So really work with that intuitive ability that you have. It's not something that you may not be as strong with it as you would like. That's all right. It'll come in time. Everything grows at its proper rate, and this week in particular is saying use that a lot, but you have to find stillness inside, and that still point, focusing here or on your heart chakra, and just focus on the pulse of those spots and allow yourself to grow from there. Don't think, allow the thoughts just to float away. They're just a stream. They're, dandelion fluff on the breeze. Let the thoughts float away. And that's when your intuition really kicks up. So your 5th week's guide or guardian is the goddess Bastet, and Cat's Eye is the stone. A very beautiful stone and a very interesting goddess. I melt into sacred pleasure, taking delight in the sweetness of life and the sensuality of embodiment. I am a divine soul grounded in the temple of enlightenment that is my body. My joy is an offering of gratitude to the universe, which attracts greater blessings. I can share freely with the world, triggering a collective awakening into grace. I invite the divine to sweeten my life for the greatest good of all beings. I think that is a great guide or guardian to sum up this month's energy for you. It's about joy. It's about happiness, where you stand in the universe and how your actions, your feelings, your thoughts, your moods ripple out and change and grow other people, whether you realize it or not. Like I said before, it tends to be better when you don't realize what's happening. That's where the kind words, no matter what's going on, the smiles, the opening a door for somebody, those little acts of kindness can literally change a person's day, week, sometimes even their life. And you don't know about those changes. You may never know. Sometimes you'll learn about it later. But this month is all about that growth, understanding your place and how your joy, your happiness, your peace ripples out to others and uplifts the crowd around you. So, your message from Source is Lady of the Lake, new beginnings, and something is about to happen. As I said, this is the perfect sum up for the month. These energies are saying everything that you have been working towards, you're starting to see the fruits of it. Other people are seeing the changes within you. Things are shifting in ways you may not even notice. The Lady of the Lake comes in to say, you're doing the right thing, you're on the right path. Here's a new option for you. Here's a new decision to think about. There's some new energy starting to come into play because you've reached a completion point in your current set of plans, goals, and dreams. So there's a little bit of a quiet period where you're enjoying it and you're at peace, and the doorway to something new is being opened by the Lady of the Lake. She's offering you Excalibur. Are you willing to step up and make these changes? Make them permanent? Maybe challenge the next monster around the corner? That's up to you. And that's where we're headed. You have had a lot of Earth energy in your challenges and lessons this month, so might be something to pay attention to. And we have the Queen of Earth, thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. This whole month is about growth through gentleness, growth through joy and happiness. The Queen of Earth is coming in to sum the month up, saying, make time for what's important, those closest to you, your spouse, your children, your inner circle. Really connect to that in this upcoming month. As you go through the month of July, your growth is so important. Your growth is, you set everything up so your growth just is occurring at this point. But it's also saying, don't allow the ugliness of something outside of your bubble turn down the light that you have turned on so powerfully, and understand that your actions, your kindness, your gentleness ripple out and affect others in very positive ways. So with that, we will wrap this up. Sorry, this one's a little bit long. They were being really loud today. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, drop them in the comments down below. Have a great and safe July of 2024, and I will see you all in the next video.